Hello everyone. I hope you have a good day. But I will try to make it even better, because I have for you a great suggestion. Let's make brioche dough together. This dough is the queen of yeast dough. It, unusual, silky, has a golden color. This dough is rich, tender, like fluff, from which you can bake brioche, Easter and even muffins. This is a gourmet French yeast dough recipe that you will definitely need to try. If you learn how to knead brioche dough, you can say that you know and understand something in the process of baking. From such a very rich, with a lot of butter, rich yeast dough, brioche is baked Sunday French bread. These are magnificent bakery products. What is the difference between brioche dough and other types sweet yeast dough? The main difference is the proportion of flour and butter, as well as the kneading method. The main highlight of the dough recipe for real brioche is a large amount of soft butter. The ratio of butter and flour can reach 1:1. Another difference is in the kneading method. Soft butter is added in several stages. This is literally spread on the surface of the already almost fermented dough. A high temperature for the fermentation of such a dough after adding soft butter is no longer needed. You must keep the soft but not runny texture of the butter inside the dough while kneading and fermenting. Let's get down to our recipe for rich yeast dough brioche. First, I will prepare a warm dough to activate and ferment the yeast. This is necessary to get the yeast to start fermenting, because a lot of baking ingredients make the fermentation process difficult. I'll mix the yeast in warm milk, add some sugar, a pinch of salt, and about 10 to 12 tablespoons of sifted all-purpose flour. Now I will knead a thick dough. While the dough is fermenting, I want to prepare the ingredients for baking. These are eggs, egg yolks, sugar and butter. But since I'm kneading brioche dough, butter should be added before the last stage of fermentation. Well-fermented brioche dough has a loose structure. The yeast is activated and is ready for kneading yeast dough with a lot of baking ingredients. Here I have a little secret. Use baking ingredients that are at room temperature. So baker's yeast will be able to work normally in the aggressive environment of sugar and fat. I will add the baking ingredients, Mix the dough well and knead the brioche dough. Flour should be added in parts. Some flour may not be used. The main rule is the dough after kneading should not be tough due to excess flour. The structure of the brioche dough should be soft and tender. Add lemon zest for flavor and send the brioche dough to ferment at room temperature. The time is approximately 1.5 to 2 hours. Next step. Add soft butter, raisins and candied fruits. Rinse fruits and grapes under running water before use and pat dry with paper towels. How to beat butter into brioche dough by hand. Why butter should be added at the last stage of kneading the dough by hand. Attention! This is an important secret. The flour absorbs, soaks up the butter, it prevents the yeast from fermenting. Therefore, if you want to make rich pastries, add butter in the last phase of fermentation, so that the fermentation of the dough was more complete. A large amount of butter for kneading the dough improves the taste and texture of the brioche. The dough should have 2 stages of fermentation before adding the butter. The third or last stage of fermentation is after the introduction of butter. This is how the magnificent structure of brioche in baking is obtained. Look how beautiful the brioche dough is. Baking from such a silk brioche dough will be a hit. The final touch is shaping and baking. But I will talk about this in one of my next videos. You will find a detailed recipe for brioche dough in the description below the video. Enjoy your meal, and don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And also share this on social media. I'll be very grateful. Thanks for watching.